right, everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Adam Meyer. I'm the owner of F45 St. Louis Park, as well as F45 Southwest Minneapolis, with my partner Ida Naderi. I'm joined here by two badass women today. First, I've got Jessie Sifko, who is also a partner in the studios. Jessie's an incredible athlete, an amazing yogi, successful entrepreneur, and a fierce F45 trainer. So you're all going to get to experience that in a little while. Yeah. And then we've got, of course, Paige Hathaway, who we're super excited to have here today. Paige is an international fitness cover model, also a successful entrepreneur. She's a pioneer in the fitness game. And she is the face of F45 training around the world. So let's everybody help me give Paige a welcome. Paige, just had a birthday, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
congratulations.
I didn't tell anyone about it because I'm like, feeling so old.
45?
How did you celebrate? Did you do anything fun?
No, I worked, but I didn't do anything fun. I literally didn't tell anyone because I'm like, man, I'm over 30 now. Like, wow.
You just hit your stride.
It just gets better and better.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it gets better and better. That's what I heard. I heard 30s are like good, so let's see.
You just hit your stride.
Just hit your stride, right?
Yeah.
Well, at 35, I can say it does get better and better. Well, we're really glad to have you here. Obviously, people are more than thrilled to see you and meet you, and you've had such an amazing impact on the world, and you're already incredibly successful. So let's start with the obvious question.
Okay, yeah.
Why F45?
Yeah. I know, it's the question of the year, right? So, I live in California, and F45 is just now starting to like really explode out there. And when I saw this gym popping up, I was like, what is this gym? Like, I have to find out what it is. So I went in and did a class, and I was like, this is phenomenal. This is incredible. And so then later did I come to realize that it's actually huge, and it's like huge in Australia. It's all over the world, growing exponentially fast. And being in the leading in my industry, I was like, I want to align myself with the leading in the gym industry. So I got to figure out how to get involved. So I actually wrote the CEO, and he was like, wait a minute, I wrote you a year ago to be the face of the company. And I was like, you did? And he was like, yes. And so I went and checked my emails, and I was like, holy crap, he really did. I don't know how I missed the email.
Playing hard to get?
Yeah.
Part of negotiation.
And so, so it all kind of worked out, and now here I am. Yeah.
Nice. So when you're, after you got into F45 and you're sitting around with your friends having a glass of wine, just casually talking about F45, how do you describe it? Like, what do you tell people about it?
Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's such a simple concept, but it's kind of hard to explain, right? Because a lot of group classes, people think that like, well, I don't want to, it's a group class, so I don't want to be intimidated. I don't want to be last. I don't want to like feel like I'm not like pressing in as much weight as this person beside me or whatever. So the great thing about it is I always tell them, like, usually you're partnered up with someone, and you and your partner know what you guys are doing, but you don't know what anyone else is doing because you guys are doing your own thing. So that's why I always like to start with that, because people are just intimidated of like the group thing. And then, with it being like so innovative with the computer screens on the wall, basically it lays out what you're going to do. I love that you never do the same workout twice, no matter if you've been a member for day one, for years. So, it's such a cool concept.
Nice.
Well, for you and your body, coming from the bodybuilding world, a lot of weightlifting.
Yes.
What has happened in your body post F45?
Yeah, well, a lot of people ask me, like, how do you stay so lean? And it's from F45. Like, I used to have to, like, kill myself doing cardio, and I really am not a huge fan of cardio. I don't know who is, But I do F45, like, 3 or 4 days a week, and, I get to, like...
So you're saying you gave the treadmill up?
Yeah.
You fired the treadmill?
I know.
F45 helped you fire the treadmill?
Yeah, I did. I fired it. Come on, get out of here. I don't know when the last time I did cardio like that.
Do you have a favorite class that you do here?
It's the one that we're doing today, Hollywood.
Nice.
And I love it because it's kind of more so like what I believe in is weightlifting and cardio combined. So it's about the best of both worlds.
Nice. Okay. So, not everybody comes into F45 as fit as you are. Like there are people at different stages in their fitness journey.
Yeah.
So when someone, they're looking at F45, they're thinking about it, sometimes they might be intimidated or they're unsure. what would you tell those people? What advice would you have for the people that are thinking, gosh, I might want to try it, but I'm not sure?
Yeah, well, I've like kind of brought a lot of people into the F45, my friends even, that have never done something like F45, and they were just like really scared about it. But the great thing about F45 is it's for everyone. You can be a beginner, never have lifted a weight in your life, and you can still come in and feel confident and secure that you're doing it properly. I love that the trainers are in here. They're not going to like call you out and be like, you're doing that wrong, but they're just going to really, correct your form and really motivate you through the workout. But no matter what, this is always up there. So if you don't know what you're doing, you just look up on the screen like, oh, that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But it's great for beginners. It's great for people that are advanced as well. Just like me, I come in and this is the best workout I've ever had and will ever get. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've been, in the fitness industry for almost 10 years. So.
Just a cool 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we absolutely love about F45 is our community. We just celebrated our first year anniversary with the Minneapolis and the grand opening the second series where a lot of people are in the room, so they're really excited about that. So I'm curious, all over the world, there's over 1,000 studios. Is there a vibe? Is there a community thread that you picked up on that?
Yeah, well, all studios are different, right? I've been sometimes into the 5 o'clock class, and they have like a better vibe than the 7 o'clock p.m. class. I'm like, how are people like this?
That's our most dedicated group. That 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m.
Fierce group.
There's
For
some
sure.
special type of people because I don't know if I do that. But yeah, the community aspect is great. I have a home gym in LA, the Culver City one, it's like 10 minutes from my house, and we're all in a group chat, and they'll be like, you coming to the 7:30 class? And then even if I don't want to go, I'll be like, I'll be there. Like, the community aspect keeps you accountable, which I really love.
I have a feeling Culver City is going to get some people joining.
I love
You're
it.
gonna be like, can I be in that group chat?
Yeah. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit. So obviously, social media is a big part of your game, and you're on top of your game right now. You've got over 10 million followers on your social media platforms.
Crazy.
There's a lot of people here that are interested in that. I'm interested myself. Like, what is that growth like? What is the process like? How do you go from I'm going to try Instagram to having 4 million followers there, almost 6 million on Facebook?
Yeah. So that's like a huge question that I get. I actually just made a YouTube video about it because it's a question that I get all the time. Like, how did you grow your Instagram, and is there like a method behind it, and what are some things that I can do to maybe do that as well? I think that when it comes to social media, if you are specifically wanting to grow your social media, being consistent with posting is important. You can't really grow your social media if you post like one time a week. You got to post like one time a day. So if you want to grow your social media, definitely do something like that. It helps to pre-take your content a little bit. So during the week, if you kind of like have like a posting schedule like Monday, I'm going to kind of post this because this kind of goes with what's going on. So just being consistent with that. Also becoming like a yes man in good term, right? So if you want to get your name out there, your brand out there, applying to things and really getting your name out there is really important. I'm, from the Midwest, so no one knew who I was, and I had to really make them know who I was. So I applied for a ton of things. Even if you get turned down, you apply again the next year, and you just really have to stay consistent. Consistency with everything,
right?
Yes, is so important with diet, training, all that stuff. Same thing with being successful in your business or with social media. You got to stay consistent. But yeah, it's a slow process, like anything is, but just don't give up and just keep going. And
was there like a tipping point? Was there something that happened, a moment, an experience where you're like, okay, we're doing pretty well, and then all of a sudden boom, I got 1 million followers this week? Or was it kind of a slow growth?
You want to know something so crazy? I'll never forget this. So I wanted to become a fitness model, right? And I will never forget that there's a thing called Olympia, which is a huge fitness expo in Vegas. I went there one year, and it still gives me goosebumps. I went there one year, and I passed out comp cards to just try to get my name out there. This was 6 years ago, 7 years ago now, 7. And I really just wanted to get my name out there, and so I passed out comp cards, and I was hi Paige, you know what I mean, And then the next year, I had the biggest banner at the expo. It was just the craziest.
Did they contact you?
Yeah,
to say,
I still don't even know how they found me, but they wrote me on Instagram with the supplement company wrote me on Instagram. They're like, we're looking for a face of the company. We'd like to interview you and see if you'd be a good fit. And then I became the face of this company that grew exponentially fast on social media. But it's kind of just crazy to me that I went from passing out cards, no one knew who I was, to having the biggest banner at the expo. So, and I just did that through just trying. I literally did everything I could to get my name out there, and something worked, and bam.
You hit it. So you just leveraged from there. You
Yeah.
just kept going.
Yeah.
So, any challenges, any mistakes, anything on the process that you could help people prevent?
Yeah, I mean, just with anything with growing, my career has had ups and downs, and especially with social media changing so much, and the fitness industry changing so much. I love how now functional training is such a hit, because it's more of a new trend. You know what I mean? But yeah, my career has had a lot of ups and downs. It's just being, having perseverance and not giving up. Because I feel so many people, if something doesn't work out, they just give up.
Yeah.
Or if something gets tough, they just give up. And that's definitely.
So who were kind of some of the people you look to for inspiration? You're struggling, you having moments where you're what am I doing? Who do you look to, or what was it that kept you going?
Yeah, my own success story is what has motivated me. Yeah. I'm from the Midwest. I didn't grow up with a lot. So my own past really motivated me to do more, be more, become more, want to do more for myself. But yeah, I think that it's important that everyone should find something in their life to really want to drive them and push them to become more, and use that as fuel to not give up, because it's cool to look up to someone, for motivation, inspiration, but it's better to look within yourself, and really find that fire and that fuel inside of you to not give up.
Yeah. So how do you approach continuing that authenticity through your social media? Because as we know in our world, we've kind of got the image that people see, or what they think that the real page is, and then the real page back here.
Yeah.
So to me, you feel incredibly authentic, not different in real life than you do on your social media. So is that on purpose? Is there intention in that?
I think, my roots, just being from a small town, I still to this day, when I meet people, I'm just this is crazy to me. I still have that feeling, you know what I mean? I get emotional when I meet people and they start crying, and I start crying. I don't know, it's just it's just such a cool thing. But I think, I don't.
Keep trying.
As hard as I can right now. You have no idea. I'm just what is this?
You're
Yeah, I think just my roots, just being from a small town. My mom and dad are divorced, but my mom's side lives in Minnesota, my dad's side lives in Oklahoma. So my mom's side actually lives outside of Mankato in a small town called Medelia, which is 2,500 people. So, I'm from a small town, you know what I mean? And I think that's what has just kept me more grounded than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. So, if you had to just choose one platform, one thing that you were going to focus on, and you had just one option to go with in your social media and your business, what would it be?
You mean Instagram or Facebook?
Yeah, one platform, one tool, one app. If you had one thing to choose from, what would you choose?
Well, Instagram is the poppin' thing, so probably that. But Instagram has made it so hard. If you're trying to grow on Instagram now, they've made it so hard changing the algorithm. I kind of so I feel one of the big reasons why my Instagram did explode is because I kind of got in there first. I got in there 7 years ago when everyone was what is a selfie? You know what I mean? Why are you doing this? But yeah, I think Instagram is probably the way to go. Although I just started YouTube, and YouTube's fun because you can get more personalized.
Is that relatively new for you?
Yeah, it's new.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get more personable with them. Instagram's just really photos. You can't really get to know someone.
So how much help do you have doing this?
Squad? Girls want to know about the glam squad, right? Am I the only one? I want a glam squad.
I thought that was your glam squad.
Adam's my glam squad.
Oh gosh.
That's why.
This is why I look so good. And Pale. We're trying to bring Pale back.
That's right.
Well, sitting next to me.
I know, right? I'm like, oh God.
It's the difference between
I'm
Southern
going to Hawaii
California
tomorrow.
Yeah, no, there is a squad behind me now. I didn't always have one. You know, the first few years it was just me. But now I have like 5-6 people that like just solely work for me full time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Congrats.
it's crazy to even think about. But yeah, it does. I mean, it is better.
How was that transition going from like solo to like being a boss? Like you're running the show, you know?
Yeah,
Like, you're a boss.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm a good boss because I'm always like, oh, it's okay. Like, oh, fine, we'll do it next time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not a very good boss like that. But no, it's cool. It's very cool. It's surreal.
Nice.
So we go back a little bit. So
Yeah.
pre-Instagram, pre-fitness, Paige Hathaway just likes to work out.
Yeah.
Okay. How did that go from I like to work out, I like to be fit, to I'm going to be a professional? What was there an event? Was there?
Yeah. So I did a bikini show, which I didn't even want to do the bikini show. Like I had this trainer that like was like, it's so weird. I call him like Mr. Miyagi, but he like was like, I think that you could be a fitness model, and I was like 100 pounds, like I'm like 135 now. I was like a fitness model. I'm from like the Midwest, like fitness model, like what? And he was like, I just don't know. I just like see something in you. And he's like this little Asian guy, and he's like, I just want to train you. Like let's just do it. And, I was like, I said no for a really long time, and he wouldn't leave me alone about it. And so I was like, fine, like if I do this, like will you like never ask me again to do this? And he was like, yes. And so I trained for a show, a bikini show. I trained for 4 months, and I just fell in love with it during the 4 months. I think you kind of like, I don't know if anyone's trained for like a bikini show or something, but you kind of get addicted to it. Like you become obsessive. And so I was like, you know what, I don't want to do a small show because I was just going to do a little state show. I was like, I want to do the biggest show in the U.S. because I was like, go big or go home, And so he was like, what? You went from not wanting to do a show to like wanting to do the biggest show in the U.S. So I did that. I got second, and it's kind of like when you go into like the casino, you like hit the lottery the first time around. You're like, oh, this is so easy. This is cool. This is fun. Whatever. So I did another show, and I did terrible. And I did another show, and I did even worse. But I was like, okay, well maybe shows aren't my thing, I got lucky the first time, but yeah, I was like, I want to do something in the fitness industry, and so then that's how I started pursuing what I am doing now.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's your why now?
My why now is, I mean, it's kind of crazy. My most favorite thing ever is just traveling somewhere that I've never been, or meeting people that I've never met before, and then me having such an impact on their life. And I've never met, this person. And so that's my why. It's so cool to be able to touch people that you've never met, and they're like, you've changed my life. That's such a surreal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, would you say that's one of the most rewarding things about what you
That is
do?
the most rewarding thing.
Yeah. It started as something you're doing for yourself.
Yeah.
And it just turned into something more or something
Yeah,
bigger.
because I'm like, wow, I'm changing people's life around the world to become better. I feel like fitness is such a cool thing that if you can like change someone's life through fitness, because it can have a domino effect in so many areas of your life.
Yeah.
So
I know we notice that too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you see it. Like if you have a home studio you go to and you see people consistently that come in, we see it all the time. They come in. Sometimes that first day they're kind of timid. They're a little bit nervous. You just see it in their posture.
Yeah.
Even they're kind of a little
Yeah.
bit like unsure. And then they're there for a couple of weeks, a month, and all of a sudden that person walks in. Their shoulders are
Yeah.
up. Their face is lit up, and they're just
Yeah.
like confident. Let's go.
yeah, it's awesome.
And it's a cool transformation to see for sure. And so like what kind of goals do you have for yourself now, like personally, professionally, like what's driving you? What are you pursuing now?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, being at the top of my game, I want to always stay like, that's one thing that's a challenge for me, is I always want to stay like innovative, and I want to like do like what's going to be best, what's going to be next, what's the next thing. But right now, I'm just really focused on, because I am getting older, I'm really focused on
Just getting better.
Better.
Just getting better.
Fine line.
I'm really just focused on now just building like a brand around my name. So that's what my goal is now. Because I mean, Instagram is great, but I don't want to do Instagram forever. I don't want to be like 50, but like like, my fitness, like flexing photos. So I'm just building a brand like around my name right now is my goal.
And you're building some other businesses I recently saw.
Yeah,
So can you tell us anything about that? Is that secretive? Okay.
No. So I was debating about supplements because I haven't like done supplements in a long time. I left that company and I was like, I want to kind of work on something that I believe in and I want to do. So I'm working on my own supplement line, which is going to be just like a natural, raw, vegan, organic. I'm pescatarian, so I do like plant proteins and stuff like that. So I've been working on that, but I also wanted to do like basically like a full on, because if someone takes care of their body, if they're buying supplements, they probably take care of like their skin, they probably care about like what they're buying for their skin, their hair, and all that stuff. So I'm building one company that has like everything that's all natural, raw, organic ingredients for your whole body.
Exciting.
When are we gonna be able to see it?
Yeah.
Probably in like 3 months. It's been
Okay.
it's been a lot of work, but it's almost done.
Yeah. Is that an exciting
love
challenge?
that.
Are you enjoying the
Yeah,
process?
no, it's been really, really cool. I found now building this, and I'm like, well, this is like my new passion that I really love, is like building business, like you were talking about building businesses. So I'm like, this is like so cool, and I kind of found like a new passion in something like that, so it's been so fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Well, we can't
I'll
wait to
just
see
send you
that.
stuff. I'll send you stuff.
Yeah.
All the women in the audience are like, samples? We love the raw vegan thing, so we're all about that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I'm excited.
So, I mean, when you look back at it, you know, and however much time you go in the future, you look back, like, what's a successful career to you? Like, how do you define, like, you know what, that was worth it. It went well. I'm happy with what I did.
I mean, to be honest, I never could imagine like this. You know, like I'm from a small town girl. Like I, had big dreams, but I never thought this was imaginable. Like, like doing what I'm doing now, having 10 million followers on social media, like traveling the world, having people know me like everywhere. Like it's so crazy. So I just want everyone out there to look at me and be like, wow, she can do it. I can do it. Because like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not any different than anyone else. And it's just so crazy. You can literally do anything you want.
Nice. Well, we're about to find out because we're going to hit a Hollywood here.
Yeah.
Jesse's going to put you to the test. She is for sure.
On you.
Yeah.
Like stink on poo.
And we've got some really fit Minnesota people here that are fired up and ready to go.
Yeah, baby.
So,
Well, most importantly, let's take a group selfie.
let's do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Hold on.
And we're doing the full workout, everyone.
Yeah, we're doing full Hollywood. Cutting open.
All right, here we go. Everybody do that.
Everybody get in.
Get in.
That'll lead in. Let us watch. All right.
All right, everybody, we're going to get rolling here in a couple minutes. All right, we'll let you know what's
Thank
up next.
you,
We're going to be taking
Paige.
photos with Paige. So, thank you very much for joining us, Paige.
That's all right. That's all right. I was making sure it's keeping you warm.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Thank you very
Get your
much.
sweat towels on.